Here we have the EKCOLAB Analytics application launching, and it's a great time to explore further to see what we have and what we have built over a time. And it's a good opportunity for you to see what we have and how you can partake in this journey together. So first of all, we are trying to introduce what we call a new era of data-driven sustainability. And building over the years of research, more than 7 years working in the field of the water sector, we have tried to see and look upon to develop some methods in which we can be able to identify gaps in community data sets and how to report situations that are really affecting our communities all over Africa. And that's the reason behind EKCOLAB Analytics. So first of all, we can't, of course, the agenda has been given, and you can see we have to talk about EKCOLAB and EKCOLAB Analytics, and also methodology and research. So about us, EKCOLAB. So EKCOLAB is a youth-led international organization, and we are based on finding problems in communities through research, and our research is focusing both scientific, engineering, and also social science. Of course, our mission is to be able to transform water resources, environment of local and urban communities through scientific engineering approach for a resilient and sustainable world. Our vision is saving people, water, environment for a greater well-being. And our motto is no water, no ecosystem, no life. And we believe that water is at the center of everything on earth. And whatever thing happens, it begins with water. And so we must have to solve problems from a lens of solving the water issues first, and then get into other problems, climate change, and pollutions, because everything centered about water. Water is life, as we know. Okay, now our problem statement, what we saw after doing some series of studies. This is very important. So we've checked out over the past 3 years, doing some studies over Cameroon and other African countries, and trying to understand different platforms and how they provide data and how they could help you to solve problems, actually, like real-time problems. But of course, a few platforms are available which provide key data for people to study, NGOs to study, students to take, and then be able to do research. Of course, some of these data are like general data from WHO. We have the joint monitoring program from UNICEF and WHO, which was also conducted. We have the World Bank data as well. Now, all of these platforms have data. Of course, they have. And but the problem here is that we try to understand that this data is more about a global situation. For example, if you can go to this platform, you can be able to get data which is talking about some particular country, but we found out that communities which are really in our environment, if you have to do a search on these sites, you can't find data related to what you're doing. It's only a few amounts of communities which are part of this. And even if you find some communities, there's still going to be a lot of gaps in the data related to what? What type of data are we talking about? Data related to wash and non-functional water points, abandoned, improper waste disposal site, and water availability situation, water scarcity. How do we have the data? How do we understand about this type of data? These are some of the problems which, of course, the gaps in the data is very vast. And these world heads and leaders in the sector of water and environment can't do everything on their own. That is the core. And that's why we saw it, oh, wow, this is really important. And we know that we have situation in Africa. And that's where we came about bringing out the issues related to EKCOLAB Analytics. But another thing that was very disturbing was the fact that some of this data, which should be collected by these world leaders in the sectors, is that they could take time to process the data, which means that some of this data, you can find them only after 6 months, sometimes up to a year or even 2 years. That is updated. But of course, still the data has a lot of gaps, which doesn't touch every community which is needed. So what is the key point here in EKCOLAB Analytics is that we are trying to cover these gaps, which I've already explained, and also not only collecting data, but also giving you automatic vital insight into the community problems related to their risks and lack of resources. Now, what's the aspect of risks? That's where we're coming into it. We're going to see what's about risks and stuff like that. We'll start presenting. Let's go. So why do you want, or why will you be able, or what is the main motivation which can make you love to use EKCOLAB Analytics? What's the main drive? What can you gain from EKCOLAB Analytics? First of all, we have the question what. So what's EKCOLAB Analytics? You can talk about the tool of collecting, analyzing, recommending, and reporting community risks, vulnerability, and lack of resources. What are the resources in the community which are not there? We can talk about wash facilities. We can talk about standard hygiene centers, hospitals, which are not found in some communities, which of course some of this data is not found in every of the world leaders platform. Now, this is the key point as organizations you need to come in. So, who is this platform for? For students, NGOs, and governments. And why do you need? Of course, again, to drive quick interventions in emergency and fast decision-making, because we are going to be helping you understanding and how to get a blueprint of your community. Once you're collecting data, you have immediate results telling you what's happening and where you should find problems to know. And where can you access EKCOLAB Analytics? You can access it on all platforms, in desktop, Android, Apple, smartphones. Of course, we have your innovative approach. We are using an innovative approach. You're going to see that. You're going to get key automatic results on the spot. You're going to gain insight for research and grant writings. Of course, these for organizations, sometimes we write projects. We're just going to write projects like merely explaining things without proper data, without proper facts. These are some of the things which we are helping you gain. Because if you can't provide insight, if you can't prove what you're actually saying on ground with data, with visuals, it doesn't make sense. And this is where EKCOLAB Analytics is a game changer. So you can carry out multiple field analysis, which of course you're going to see our methodology, how it operates, and how you can do with it. So you can also be able to donate to communities that are truly at risk and vulnerable. So with the EKCOLAB Analytics platform, other funders can also come there and see if you're working as an organization, as a student, be able to look at what you're doing, or maybe from your data set to see what and how to help communities where you're working. And also you can be able to track communities automatically using our application. Now, so we have another access key point, which is very, very most important about EKCOLAB, is that we are giving you the opportunity to be partakers and to join in collaborations with us and to solve the SDG problem, the Sustainable Development Goal by 2030. How do we meet? So first of all, we know about that. We can't keep on waiting for the UNICEF. We can't keep on waiting for the other guys, which are really top there. They are doing and they are collecting information. But how far and how long does it take for us to get the result being published? How do we access this data to also be able to leverage and understand our communities ourselves? So we have to take our own problem by ourselves and then handle it through EKCOLAB Analytics. So we need to give you access to your data. We make you have full access by you collecting your data and you understand it. You can analyze it further with other statistical analysis methods. I'm going to show you how the data looks like, of course, just a bit when we're doing the platform tour. So that's the key point here. So you have access. We're giving the leverage to also be part of it, to be a key maker, or you can say you can join in the team and start making decisions. Okay, now, another good thing, it's about having to join a very thriving community of other like-minded people and organizations for resource sharing. So, of course, we'll be connected with other organizations, other big personalities, which can also work with you in this platform. So, key points here is that we understand that collecting data and having data is, we call it the 21st century oil and gas. That's what we call. But how do we see this value being put on place as an organization, as a student, working as an individual professional? How do you access to be able to know that you can have money while you're working in EKCOLAB Analytics? How do you do that? We know that, of course, it's difficult to get access to some organizations and stuff like that. That's why we're creating a community of these opportunities in the EKCOLAB Analytics platform, which is going to be coming very soon, the next update, which means that you can be able to do your analysis in the community and another organization somewhere, maybe in the US, in Europe, in Asia, they have a project to conduct. Probably it might be like a branch office of an international organization that want to do some research, but they don't have a data related to some particular country. For example, you can talk about the country, maybe Uganda, and an organization want to do a project in Zambia, but they don't understand that particular location or that community. They can come to EKCOLAB Analytics and search and find those who have data in this particular location, and then they can be able to bid a fair to buy the data. That is what is going to be happening, which means that we are given the opportunity to be financially independent. So you can also make money as an organization. You shouldn't be waiting. You can have data which is really structured and it's digital. Yeah. So let's move forward. Now, what is our methodology? So over the years, we developed a predefined approach for monitoring, collecting, and analyzing communities for risks of contamination, vulnerability associated with water, people, community. Now, you can find this link, of course, on our website. You'll see what we did in 2023, where we predicted, and I'm going to leave the floor to Mr. Muke. But before that, we did, as of that time, we conducted not only in Zambia, but we did over 5 countries. So we have here over, I think, 6 countries. These are the countries here. We've been doing some analysis there, and we have over 850 plus analysis done in 35 communities in Africa. And also we have an average vulnerability across all countries, 55.2%. Now, you're going to understand some of these things when we start with the stop of methodology. So, Mr. Muke, please, you have a presentation you have to tell us about the issue related to the Zambia situation after our data and the findings of understanding the research in Zambia and other countries. But we have the problem in Zambia. So I think, Mr. Muke, you can come up here and talk while I'm on the screen.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate for the time given to me, and the main apologies. Some of you may be expected to see me. Nevertheless, it's just because of power outage. I sincerely apologize for that. Let me get just into the business. First and foremost, it is a great pleasure to present myself to you today and share an innovative breakthrough in data analysis, the EKCOLAB analytical application. In November and December 2023, our team conducted a survey analysis in various parts of Zambia, which includes the Kuku in Lusaka province, Mpulungu and Kasama in northern province, Katete in eastern province, Chavuma in northwestern province, and Kaoma in western province. Our focus was on water scarcity and sanitation quality testing using the analytical application for EKCOLAB. 2 weeks later, after submitting our findings, Zambia experienced a cholera outbreak, which directly alleged with our research results. This event underscored the accuracy and the reliability of EKCOLAB analytical application in identifying critical public health and the environmental risks before they escalate into a crisis. This innovative technology is a game changer for organizations, universities, and the business, providing accurate and the actionable data for decision making, whether in public health, environmental health science, or private sector research. The EKCOLAB analytical ensures you stay ahead with the precise, real-time insights. Therefore, I encourage you to get involved into this program. Thank you for your participation and support this scientific innovation and the data-driven solution. Stay tuned. I thank you. I submit.
Thank you very much, Mr. Okay. Of course, I think if you guys want to see a little bit about this, we can show you guys later. Since we have some other slides, of course, to talk about. Yeah, but we had a situation. We had our findings talking about the key risk areas in Zambia, And from our research, we discovered everything was in alignment after the cholera outbreak. We had those zones, those areas which were being marked by our research findings, that these are high-risk areas. These are areas which could be prone to cholera, could be prone to other waterborne diseases, and other kind of shortages of lack of access to water and lack of access to good health facilities. These areas were highly hit, hard hit, you know. And this didn't stop there. Of course, we know about the situation in Zambia. It went over 6 months plus cholera situation. It was a national emergency. So of course, we did that, and we could find some stuff. Now, how to follow? Now, you have to follow our methodology because it's very insightful, it's very important. Now, what's the key step in our methodology, which we're trying to bring up, is that first of all, before you conduct an EKCOLAB analytics, or before you start using it, or before you understand how to use it, you must know how the workflow goes. First of all, you have to start by choosing an area or your study area. That's how we say, you choose your study area, and then you create a project or map. So because you must understand the dynamics of the community, you must get a map before you start doing your work in that community. And I'm going to show you how that's being recorded, but keep in point, keep this situation, map and project. We're going to come there when we're talking about the platform. Now, you have to choose all the types of analysis which are in the system. You have to select your type of analysis which you want to do. Secondly, you have to collect the data, which is, of course, the type of analysis has specific, we call it logic-based questions. And these questions are both qualitative and quantitative, which means you could collect the data, and then at the end of the day, going to give you results. We're going to talk about that later. And then when you get those results, we are getting into the side where the data analysis part of it means that the EKCOLAB Analytics application will be able to pick out key strategic information that is really vital in your data which you're collecting, and then gives you a dashboard of the essential needs or the essential critical points in your community, or critical information, which is actually needed instantly. So which you need to have a blueprint of that community immediately without wasting time. Without saying you have to go process, you don't need to be a data analyst, you don't need to be an Excel guru to be able to understand what's going on in the community. Just collect the data for EKCOLAB Analytics, takes it from there, and gives you a wow result at the end of the day in your dashboard. So secondly, we have for get trends, and then insight, and then share your findings. You could be able to share your findings via LinkedIn, via other platforms, and show with the type of research you're going to be doing or what you have done and with your organization. But that's that, and that's the end, which means that you've successfully graduated from using the application properly, and you're now a top EKCOLAB Analytics researcher. You know how to use it. You know how to also, at the end of the day, start making money once we have the future on. Okay, let's go forward. So what are we exploring here is a key question. But before that, I want you to understand that our method is a mixed method approach, and we are trying to target both qualitative and quantitative data. And if you need further explanation, you need further insights, you could follow up with us. We could share you our slides, and you could follow up the citations where, of course, we studied all of this method before producing the application. It's actually research. Now, so we have second, this sampling communities, how we sample communities, and how we conduct the analysis, how the analysis are being done at the back end, or rather, we can talk about what's going on, what's the main engine behind the analytics, so you can get automatic result at the end of the day. So here we have here the system approach. So to comprehend a community well-being or research problem, we employ collecting and analyzing, combining both quantitative and qualitative data. Now you can follow up the citations from this. Of course, you have Courseware and Plano Clark, 2007 and 2017. 2017 to 2007. So we have here, we applied convergent parallel design. Of course, you can follow that as well. So this actually apparently what's happening in a blueprint, like just in the diagram, and you can understand how we talk about mixed method approach. So we have the quantitative data and the quantitative data coming together. We mix them, and then we'll be able to have understanding in the full picture what's going on in the community. Then after that, we have interpretations, which can be done by an expert in the EKCOLAB research team, or as well as other experts that are not part of EKCOLAB, but of course in other organizations. They go to understand, once they understand how we are operating and how the data comes in and how they have been using the application, they can also help to do that for themselves, but they will need recommendations from EKCOLAB. So we have the qual and the quant. So in the core section, which is qualitative sections, yeah, we have the in-depth and survey and assessment, water and environment. We have those parameters which we are doing for the qualitative section, and those questions are being answered. We have for the quant, measuring object on the study. So you have to talk about people, places, situations. So we talk about quantity, number of people, number of toilets, number of water standpoint which are not working, those are working, number of water areas which are not being harnessed, all stuff like that. Talk about the water scarcity value of the community, calculations of the flow rates in community. All of these things is very important in our calculations. So we use this as a fundamental system for building a robust data collection, analysis, and assessment system for truly identifying community problems. So we have here to understand sampling community, which is all about stratifying sampling. So what we first do is that we first of all pick out the community, like we said, choose a community, and then we try to understand the different locations which are going to be collecting our data. First of all, we have here the zones. We have to select the zones which we need to be working, which is called quarters. So we have here the zones which are called quarters, and this is done to have a comprehensive piece of every part of the community contributing to the overall result of the analysis. Now we are using a system, of course, to demarcate the land surface into different subsectors. We have the quarters, and each quarter is being calculated on its total surface area of what, 160 hectares. So that's how we do, of course, to be able to map out this, and then we start collecting data in these points. We can separate this community into different points, and then we start having our data collection in each of these points. And this box is a quarter, and we can create many quarters inside this community, and we now have a result because our system is based on quarters, how you have to do it. So we can go forward now. Conduct analysis. We have 11 different types of analysis which we can conduct to be able to incorporate the results together. And this analysis is being calculated based on the weeks calculations as well as the weightage. So we have here the value at the end of the day, which comes in to produce you the vulnerability rate. Now we can talk about vulnerability in the sense of how is the system or the environment stable, in the sense of being the fact that you can talk about if a community is going to be affected by some service situations and is vulnerable because they have lack of resources, lack of water points, lack of waste management systems, then there'll be high pollution in that community. It's vulnerable to pollution and it's vulnerable to waterborne diseases. All of these things are part of the system. So that's what we talk about risks, and we have to apply the risk management calculations plus the weightage. Now, what is weightage? So we have to multiply that with the risks and to be able to do a general overview of what's happening. So weightage is a value given to a risk factor according to how important or significant it contributes to the overall risk rating. So that's how we came out with that. And in the section related to the qualitative data, we decided to convert qualitative data into quantitative data. So the qualitative data have a yes or no variant, which means if you have a question, you must look at the question, logically think about this question before answering. It's an observative way of doing the research and looking at what's happening there. You could be able to tick yes or no. Is this factor happening? You will see that as we move forward. So if you have a score from 0 to 2, you can talk about low, medium, 3 to 5, high, 6 to 8. And of course, you can find out all of these references under these documents like that, and you can get that as well. It's part of what we are doing and what we incorporated. Now, this is what will happen. Getting automatic analysis will be very important. Now, after all of this, we have key points here which are very important for you. Like, for example, community water consumption. How much water is being consumed in a month, on average, approximately, in that community. You can have a result of the number of people, number of households, and you can have the risk factor related to that particular community. What type of things are happening there in terms of their water, in terms of their pollution, in terms of their waste management systems, what is happening there. Of course, those key factors will be there. The number of analyses which has been done for different quarters, you see, this is quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, based on what you have already outlined, because of course you have to have a map of those quarters, and then you can be able to now put each of your analysis when you're collecting your data into different quarters. So these are 9 quarters, and train the number of analyses you have done in all of these quarters before you can have all of these results to give you the possible risks. Now, of course, in this example, we see that this community has 87% of risks in the water sector. That means the water sector have a parameters which, of course, they are being calculated. I'm going to show you that later to tell you. Now, what are the main aims of this? Is that, first of all, you're going to have key insight from the water scarcity and availability, water consumption, waste sites, wash infrastructure, hygiene and sanitation. These are the key points. You can also find this information on our EKCOLAB Analytics page on LinkedIn, which is going to tell you more detailedly about this explanation. So these are the different key metrics and abbreviations in the system, or what you can be able to understand properly what's going on. So first of all, we have here WSA, which is the water scarcity, community health, environmental pollution, stream and river, hygiene and sanitation, protected spring, household pipe water, open dock well. Then we have these other key factors which I was talking about. So RI means risk index, RI means average risk, multiply multiple analysis. Yeah, multiple analysis. We have the average risk multiple analysis in the community. So this RI means that is the average risk multiple analysis in a quarter. And this one, RICM, means average risks multiple analysis in a community. Now, to get the risks of the water resources in that community, which means that there are a lot of pollutions, there are a lot of situation, water point not actively properly working, which means the community is not having enough resources to sustain. We talk about sustainability here, which means you have to categorize some certain key metrics together. We group them. So we group this into water, we group them another key metrics into community and environment. So you can see here the abbreviations which are being grouped. We group them under water sector, and we group this other one under the community and environment sector. All of these you can be able to know furthermore in some videos. Now, of course, this research have been under review, and some of the things that we are doing. We have the key persons here, Mr. Amir Hassan, myself, Professor Orfa, and Dr. Nilam, as well as Dr. Jitka Hiskos. Now, all of these persons have been key into reviewing and planning of the projects and planning of what we are having now today to be able to use in Africa and all over. Now, we get to partnership, which is very important. Before we do our talk, let's talk a little bit about partnership. But I'm just going to give a floor to Madam Rachel to talk about partnership, and then we'll get to the section of showing the platform. Yeah.
Thank you very much. I want to thank all our friends that joined us tonight on this launch of this application. It is with great honor and enthusiasm that I speak to you today as the EKCOLAB ambassador in Zambia to mark the launch of the EKCOLAB Analytics application, a groundbreaking innovation designed to revolutionize how we collect, analyze, and utilize environmental, water, sanitation, and hygiene data. In today's fast-evolved world, data is power. Reliable, real-time, and efficient data collection is at the heart of informed decision-making, policy formulation, and sustainable development. The EKCOLAB Analytic application that we are launching today presents a transformational solution that will enhance evidence-based planning and intervention strategies in Zambia and also across Africa. And so a call for partnership. For this innovation to reach its full potential, we recognize that collaboration is very important. EKCOLAB seeks to partner with the governments, non-government organizations, development agencies, universities, and the private sector to ensure that this technology is adopted, scaled, and effectively utilized. Our vision is very clear. We are determined to see that this application will be driving change in Zambia and also across Africa. The partnership is not just about technology, it's about building strong institutions, fostering innovations, and creating opportunities for economic growth. By working together, we can empower communities, enhance research, and strengthen policy frameworks that drive sustainable development. How does this application that we're launching today align with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals? The application that we're seeing today aligns with several key United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, and among them is number 6, 8, and 13. So I'll briefly explain how these Sustainable Development Goals aligns with the application that we are launching today. SDG number 6, clean water and sanitation. By improving the efficiency of water data collection, this application will support better planning and implementation of safe water and sanitation programs in both urban and rural areas. SDG number 8, decent work and economic growth. The introduction of this application creates new employment opportunities for African youths, particularly in data management, environmental monitoring, and digital innovation. SDG number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. This application that we're launching today fosters technological advancement, digital transformation, and smart data management for sustainable development. SDG number 13, on climate action. Reliable environmental data enables proactive climate change mitigation strategies, ensuring that our communities are resilient and better prepared. So why should Africa embrace this innovation? Africa is rich in talent, potential, and opportunity. As we launch this groundbreaking innovation, we must take ownership of our technological advancement. By adopting and promoting the EKCOLAB Analytics application, we are not only improving how we collect and use data, but also fostering a digital economy that supports job creation and skills development. As EKCOLAB ambassador in Zambia, I therefore urge all potential partners, government ministries, international agencies, research institutions, civil society organizations, and businesses to embrace this innovation. Together, we can leverage technology to transform how we manage our environment, improve wash interventions, and ultimately drive sustainable development. Let us work together to make Africa leaders in data-driven solutions for better and more sustainable future. The time for innovation is now, and the time to act is not tomorrow, but today. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Rachel. So we go straight ahead to the platform talk. I'm going to stop sharing, and Mr. Tochiko is going to show us how to sign up as an organization, as well as signing up as a student or professional in the platform. And then I'm going to take in to go inside the system. Yeah, so all questions, please send your questions in the chat box. And of course, after that, we're going to pull up information like that. So Mr. Tochiko, you can share up your screen. Start sharing.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ikole. Thank you, all other speakers as well. And thank you once again all for your attention. So at this time, firstly, we have the EKCOLAB Analytics website, or you can also have the installed version as well. But firstly, this is how the interface looks like. And all you have to do is to go down and you see some of the key features, as well as the purpose, the methodology, as well as some testimonies from the users. And then you can also sign up for the newsletter. And coming down here as well, you can see the subscription as well, and other things. So basically, if you want to sign into the EKCOLAB Analytics platform, you have to come to this area, or better still, here, get started. So we go into the sign up area. So firstly, you have two options to do that. You have the option to do that as either as an organization or as a student or individual, right? So if we decide to go with as an organization, then we have a few details, personal details or information that we need to key in to enable the signing up or registration. So here for the organization, you have to input the name of your organization as well as registration number or any credentials that your organization possessed at the time, as well as your date of registration, the organizational registration, because we want to ensure that we have evidence-based data as well. Then here you can select the country on which your organization is based in, and then you can choose a username that you have. You see this username here because I already have it already. And then you can input your email address as well as password and confirm your password once again. And remember to agree with the terms and condition. Then you can save and continue. I won't be doing this because of time. So we can, going back, you can also decide to go with the student area as well. We have a similar interface as well. So this is where you enter your first name, your last name, as well as your level of education. So in this regard, if you are having currently under bachelor's degree, whether it's in the College of Education or higher diploma, you can recognize your credential as bachelor's degree level and master's. Most of the reasons for this important information is for us to also know the how to categorize the data and the information source, so that we can also have a very good decision-making approach as well. So you can also choose your country here, as well as the username, the email, and your password. And also remember to agree to terms and condition. So basically, this is how to sign up in the EKCOLAB Analytics interface or the EKCOLAB Analytics software. And if you have any questions, you can always come down and email or contact us using the emails here. So thank you very much. If you have any questions on this, please, you can put it in the chat box. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Tochuk, for sharing. So I'm going to just show you how it looks like if you're a student, what it looks like if you're a student. I'm going to show you that before we come back to becoming a partnership for some of the stuff. 1 minute. I want to share my screen now. So let's see what it looks like. Okay, can we all see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah, great. So now this is it. So when you log in, of course, the first thing that will happen as a student, when you log in, you're going to have this opportunity to see, of course, it's going to take you to subscription. If you want to know how to subscribe, of course, it's going to, we can't do that now. So we have a video, and make sure to follow us on YouTube. You just type EKCOLAB, and then you can find our YouTube channel. You'll be able to see videos which will be posted about how to subscribe and so on, and other videos. Make sure you click on the notification bell for that. So it's going to have your profile, you have your name, everything. That's what it's going to show. And then you're going to have here your plan, which means if you're paid, it tells you the number of days left to be able to renew your plan. You can actually choose. So there are two types of subscriptions. Of course, the student individual plan, which is just normal. And then we have the plus plan, of course, to But all of this comes with a number of analysis you can do, number of projects as well, which is quite enough for you to do any type of project anywhere and in what amount. Now, the question now is how to do analysis, of course, once as a student, and it's the same procedure if you are working in an organization. I'm going to show you an organizational account as well, how it operates. So first of all, you have to click on Start Analysis. Once you click on Start Analysis, you're going to have here these things showing up. Of course, we have those complications, but some of the videos explaining all of these things will be posted. Of course, we can't explain everything now. Just know that we have here Bukwai. Bukwai is a community. Is a study area which you have chosen, like I explained in the slides. So each of these, a Bulu community, these are all the study area, so which you want, of course. And now, if you want to create a project, of course, you can come here, click, and then you put up the information. The name of the project, name of community, of course, the study area which you have to do the work, and the country, of course, they're going to come out like that. And of course, the start date of the project, or everything will be there. But you need to also upload a photo, don't forget, because if you don't upload a photo, this project won't be created. So this is how it works. And we have, I have 3 projects here as a student. So if I want to edit my project as well, I could edit the end of the project. I could select it from here, and I choose end of the project I want to edit. And then I can rename the project name or something like that. So those are some of the few things. But the key point here is about analysis. What type of analysis are there, like I explained? So in each project or each community, you have analysis which have been done. And this analysis have been done inside each quarter. So for example, in a community, we can have, let's say, 5 quarters. You must do all 11 analysis in each quarter. And we have a set number of analysis you have to complete before you can be able to see a full result of that community to explain to you what the community is facing. So what is happening? What's the situation? What are the problems, of course? So if you pick new analysis, you'll be able to have here, for example, this is Bukwai community, and we have here, this is the project name. It comes automatic. You don't need to do that. You don't need to fill in this. So all of this code is automatic. So we have here the different abbreviations which are here. Of course, you could be able to find out that, like I talked about the document, the videos will be done, but this will be updated as well in the site to have all the abbreviations to be in Word form. But all of this, of course, I know. So this EPC is environmental pollution and contamination analysis. CH is what? Is community health. WSH is what? Water scarcity and availability analysis. HNSH is hygiene and sanitation in household. HNSP, hygiene and sanitation in public places such as markets and other public areas. HNSS is hygiene and sanitation in school. HPW is household pipe water. We have HNSNR is stream and river. We have PS is protected spring, ODW, open ductware, and HSC is household storage container. We have to understand all of this stuff together. Now, if you want to select an analysis, you could select any of these. For the purpose of that, I'm going to take water scarcity and availability analysis to do. So I'm going to click on that, and then when I click on the GPS, is going to be calculated automatic. That's for sure. We have here the type of water source or object on the study. Remember, it could be not a water source. It could be a waste site which you're observing, type of waste. Because when you go to environmental pollution and contamination, you won't be putting here water source or something like that. You'll be putting about the location, and you have to also get a picture. So, for example, 1 minute, you can be able to, let me do, I have to just write something. Let's just put water something, waterproof or something. I just like to show you. We can have a name of water source or object on the study. So you can put the name of the water source. Locally, we usually have name of different water sources, or let's say water points. It's not about water points here is talking about the different types of locations, like for example, stand taps in communities, not only about springs. So you could be able to address this into different categories. So you can have public taps and both local water sources, which are like springs or maybe other type of source, which community leverage from it to drink or to do other household chores. So you can put, maybe I should put here something like amen. Of course, I know some of these things. Now, the quarter name, each of these quarter must have a name, or maybe sometimes have been named something. I'll just put here, let me just put Tulu. I can put anyhow I want to do it, but just for illustration purpose. Yeah, so not to complicate everything. Now the quarter, I can choose quarter one, but you must know that you must create a project first before you can create an analysis. So if you don't create a project, you will not be able to see that I have 3 different projects or 3 different communities I'm working on. So of course, I'm going to choose required community to be under the same project. I want to do some analysis under quarter one. I'm going to also click here to select a picture. I'm going to just upload any picture there in my space. I could have some pictures. 1 minute. I'm just going to upload a picture. Yeah, so I have a picture here. I'm going to upload that picture. I've just uploaded the picture. Now I'm going to click on Start Analysis. So if I click here, Start, you can as well save the analysis or whatever you want. So it has the questions which are coming up. These are 17 different questions which are based on yes or no. You can be able to answer this question logically. And you must know what you're doing before you can answer this question. I will say that again. Of course, you have to understand the question. Now, is the water point non-functional? Now, if you're going to click yes, which means that you don't need to further conduct an analysis at this point. So if you get to a public tab and it's non-functional, you don't need to do any analysis there, which means that automatically that area is marked as an area of lack of available water resources. That zone, that particular point. So that's what is done here, because you have to do multiple WSA analysis to be able to come out with a blueprint picture of that community to tell you what's going on in the water scarcity sector and availability sector in that community. So, but of course, I'm not going to click here. If I click yes, you're going to see what will happen. If I click yes, you're going to tell me congratulations, you're done, because you can't do anything again out of this, because the water point is not functional. You can't be talking about it because you want to know the availability of water. So, but if you made a mistake, you can go back. And you have all the questions that will be coming back. You go back to the first questions. You can just go back and let's start back. So I will say no. And when I say no, nothing happens. I have to continue. And you have to answer some of these questions. I can't be going through all of these things. I'm just going to click yes or no. These questions, of course, you want to know in details. There will be documentations for these. And all of you that want to subscribe, I think all of the plans have training. You'll be able to know what to answer and how to answer these things. Now, we have here, those are the qualitative part of the data, which needs to be understood properly later on. But in this section, we're talking about quantitative. Now, you're talking about how many people were at the water point. So you can be able to tell maybe 12 persons or 10. Now, this information is very important because you can know about how long people are going to stand in the queue before you can get water. With this kind of information, when we do analysis in the community, you can tell. Next, we talk about what's the average distance. Now, from the water point to the nearest household, because the households are there, but you need to know the average distance. Now, distance in our system is calculated in kilometers. So if you measure in meters, you're going to convert that to kilometers, which means if you have 100 meters from the water point to the community household, or maybe some 2 households, which you're going to measure, of course, some of these techniques, we can also tell you how you can do the measurements. For now, we are not yet to explain all those things. So if you have 100 meters from water points to households, you can put 0.1. That's it to convert that. And so you hope to the next. What's the amount of drinking water produced a day from that water point? Now, because you click that the water source, the water point is functional, then you have to know the amount of water produced per day. You can know this by calculating the flow rate. Of course, these questions can be answered after answering, I think, question 17 of this particular analysis, which talks about flow rate, because you must know how often or the rate at which the water flows by calculating the flow rate. Flow rate is not difficult to calculate. You need a bottle of water, which could be 1 liter, and they have a stopwatch. The video is in the training section. Mr. Tochi is going to show us in the training section the videos. So after this analysis. So let's say maybe, let's say 300 liters. And we go to the average waiting time. Average waiting time, you have to be able to sum all the different times of each person at the water point, and then divide by the number of people. So you're going to get the average wait time, because when the people are standing there, of course, they are having time, time is moving. And you have to also calculate how long they have been there, when you came. And then you calculate an average of 3 persons, divide that to have the average of the wait time which people can be waiting. Depends on the type of, different factors will also affect the wait time. Depends on the type of containers that are being used to get the water at the point. So you could put here, and also remember that the time here is calculated in minutes. So if you have 1 minute, you're going to put 1. Of course, if you have seconds, you could put 0 point something. So let's say 1 minute. And we go now. We have the flow rate. I've already said about it. So for flow rate calculation, we have the unit here, liters per meters, and you have per minute. Sorry, liters per minute. You have here the calculations. You could be able to know, but this is based on 1 liter. So you must make sure you have 1 liter container to do it for ease, to ease the calculation for you. You don't need to get a full bucket to do the analysis there. So you can be able to tell the flow rate, which could be maybe, let's say 0.2 liters per minute or so. Let's say 1 liter per minute. It could be possible. So let's go. So now it tells you, okay, congratulations. You will have to check if your analysis is okay or not. And then if you probably think you did a mistake and go back and then change it, like you can click from here. So let's click on submit. When you click on submit, it's going to get to the dashboard. Now the dashboard comes in, but this dashboard is not the dashboard of that community. You have to select the community which we have, which is actually this community. So you can select it from here. Now this is the required community which I choose. Now I'm going to click on it. Now you're going to have this result. Now you see values which are collected for the water schedule and availability analysis, of course, are going to be projected here, but that particular 1 point cannot significantly change the whole result of the community. So that's why I said about doing specific analysis. You must do at least 44 analyses on average in each quarter to be able to get a full point here and to get all values here. But for here, I think in this section, you can be able to see also different type of analysis, HSCR, because you see the diagrams here. Now the type of analysis and the average risks. The different analysis points, which talking about the water scarcity, and the other one, the contaminations, and they're talking about hygiene and sanitation in school, what is the risk level at the school level, and all of these are calculations that you can do. You can be able to select quarters here. We have 3 different quarters I've done, and so on. But let me show you what I did with Bulu community. So if I click Bulu community, you can also probably see, I think, some other results. Okay, for this one, I didn't do anything. Okay, so let's go back to see something. If I click here, you will see in require, I have 34 analysis. No, even in my own system, if I click, I can tell that I have not yet reached 44. I need to do 44 analysis in each quarter. Now, I just have a minimum of, I think, just how many quarters? Like 3, but I don't have up to 44. So if you click on it, you're going to be seeing all of the analysis completed, the date and everything of the different analysis. And you can go down and see the type of analysis which are out here, and you can see. So we also have here some functions which could be working. We have here the name of the project and so on. So that's pretty much what you have in each of the analysis types. If you click here as well, you're going to see in the community what type of project have been done. And remember, we have a color code. Each different type of analysis has different colors, which means that you're not going to be confused what analysis is this and that. So that gives you a full understanding of what you're going to be doing. But as a dashboard is very important because you have here key information which you can be able to understand from the community. Like in Bukwai, we have here 70% water scarcity. Out of the different water scarcity analysis we have conducted in that community, we have 71%. That means that the community is lacking at least this percentage, which means that they need to step up. So we means that we need to be able to find infrastructures, or we need to be able to seek for more resources to build the water system there. As for this other point about the risks of water, we can't have them because we haven't completed significant number of analysis like you see. Quarter 1, we've done 25, this one 2, and the rest. But we need to do 44 before we can see all of this analysis. So we can have here, I showed you what the different zones that is separated. The conditions of the water sector in the community, conditions of the environment in the community, which can be very important to know what type of risks is there and how they are facing these problems. Yeah. So also for the sharing option, you can be able to share your findings by clicking here. Once you have these findings, you can be able to click And then once you can click here, you can be able to see what you're doing, like the dashboard is going to come up. And if I click, it's going to take me to where I'm going to do this one. I think it has shifted into another point. 1 minute. So it has shown in another point. It's in the browser now because I'm using the app version. If you can share, look at what happens. We have here the author. So this is how your profile is going to appear. You can share this result to LinkedIn, you can share it to other platforms to tell other researchers what you're doing. And this is the dashboard which I have. You see, what scarcity 71, and all of this dashboard will come up like what you're doing, just to give for someone to know. And you have the name of the project, the community, the country of the project is Cameroon, and then you have here. So this work was conducted by me, field analysts working under this project to assist in community support using state-of-the-art technology and data for proper solutions and implementation. So all analysis are based on EKCOLAB High Innovative Model. So that's what will be appearing. But if you do it, your name will appear here and what you're doing will also appear. So you can share that to anyone on LinkedIn and stuff like that. It's going to appear like this. And they can also see it. Okay, now I think I'm actually sharing my screen now. Let's go direct to the data sections. But before that, I'm going to log in to the account. Mr. Tochukwu, please log in and show the training section, how it looks like. We have different trainings there that will teach you what is happening, how you can use the platform, and other training that will be vital. Mr. Tochukwu, please do the sharing.
Yeah. So when you go into when you log into your EKCOLAB Analytics software, so this is your dashboard, of course. This is where you start your analysis. So in the training section, if there is any complications or any aspect that you got confused with, you can come here and you can have the different training programs for whichever one you're doing. So how to log into your account, how to use your data sets, how to also, for people who want to take any certification program, you can also click on
it, please. Click on it. Any of the videos there, click and show the essentials of vulnerability risks. Click on what is vulnerability risks. Click on it. Like if you click, this is the document that downloaded. So
yeah, this is the document from the overview of
certification. You can show them, yeah. So that's what we show up. You have trainings that will be inside there, which will be for you to learn and study and advance your skills in water and environment. Yeah, go to other videos.
As well as data sampling as well.
Yeah, click on the video, data sampling. If you are using a VPN, then it won't play because I think YouTube has got issues with VPNs.
Okay.
Are you using a VPN? Yeah, probably.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
That's the thing. So please try to turn off. So I'm going to share why he's going to find out how to do that to off the VPN. So let me show you guys how the organizational account look like. If you're an organization and you want to have leverage and surpass your other colleagues in the field and get more grants and know how to write a good outstanding project, this is what we are talking about. So look at it. We have here, hello, EKCOLAB Analytics. Of course, this is an organization page. This is your organization page. It shows up here. You're also going to land up in the subscriptions, which tells you the plan you can have for a month. Of course, all of this information, you can find them on our videos, on our YouTube channel, EKCOLAB, and please, you can subscribe. Now, what we have that's different from the normal account is that we have what we call the analyst. So if you click here, you're going to have analysts under EKCOLAB Analytics. Here we have the different analysts here. Eno Boris, we have Mo Christian, we have Nicholas. Now, these are the guys working under this organization. Like if you're UNICEF, you are water organization, you could have specific guys which are strategic for collecting data, which are being trained to work under this system. Of course, you're going to give them the access, but you can as well create them. So you can create field workers, you can create them and put them in your system. Now, you can click here to add new field analysts. You can put their names and put your password. And when you click on to add, you're going to have an email that will be sent to them. Of course, you're going to put their email here, of course, put their names and everything. So you are like the admin, you have to manage your field analysts in your organization. So in that case, you do that, you're going to receive a link. Of course, you are the one to set their passwords. For example, if I click here on maybe Nicholas' account, it's going to give me up Nicholas' information, and you see these are some of the things. But that said, of course, let's go to the next point. Now I click here, dashboard is empty. Of course, we haven't do that. And so you're going to have your dashboard as well. But this dashboard is based on all of your analyses which are collected. Now you see Mr. Muke is live, fortunately, because it's on the app right now. So you are going to have here those guys that are working in the field and those guys who are not working in the field. For example, if you send people on the field work, you can be able to see who are those working actually because you send them on the work. And you see those are live on the platform now working to collect you statistics, collecting information related to the project which you want to apply for, or collected to the project which you want to sell the data for, like we talk about selling data, and of course, making money in the area of analytics. So if there are many people, you're going to find them outlined here. So let's go back to the main points. So we go back here, the accounts. Mr. Prochuk, if you're ready with the video, you could tell me, and then I could go fast and complete. So you have the profile as an organization. You could add field analysts, like I said, also that, and it's just similarly the same thing. So those are the options you have, which makes you to be outstanding in your work as an organization, to also have control of your people, certain people which are specific for data, which are specific for giving you that information you need, and that's the most important information. I think that's it. So for communities, we have groups here which you can join. So when you log in, you can click on all of these groups and then you'll be able to be added. These things, of course, once you log in, you'll be able to be a part of the groups which you're working on. Training as well, the same thing. So for the project, like you see, we have a project here, like, of course, the whole field analysis done for this project. Yeah. So Mr. Tochukwu, are you done with the video before we stop sharing? I think.
Okay, unfortunately, I have some struggle with my system. It can't play.
Yeah. I think Mr. Muke, can you share your screen? I think maybe from your mobile, if possible. If you click on the training session, let's see the videos there, because the documents download, the videos so maybe, but I don't know if you're using VPN. Yeah, just do that 1 minute. Yeah, I forgot to say. Now, if someone is online, you'll be able to see a green tag. So Mr. Muke is online in the app now. So you can see he's green, and these other guys are not there. They are not logged in now. Yeah, so guys, you can see the screen, right? So this is how the video appear. So if you click on any of these, it's going to appear like this. But I don't think it's going to play. If I click like this, it's going to tell me no. I think probably.
This is how to log into your
it plays. It plays. So
this is how to log in.
So it's keeping because I'm using a VPN. Yeah, so this is how it's going to be. You can click on trainings. You see the tab is training, and this is where it comes in, how to log into EKCOLAB Analytics on Android as a student or professional. So that's a video. We have other set of videos. So I'm going to click here, data sampling techniques and so on. Yeah, so we have this other one. Now you can learn also what about data sampling, how it's done. So probably these are the videos. So you can learn a lot from our platform. Is keeping. I use a VPN. Sorry, guys. So that's that. I think we have shown quite a number of things. And one more thing, how is your data going to be represented? So I'm going to show you, for example, you can get your data from EKCOLAB and to be able to do further analysis, and how is it going to look like, few of the things. So I'm going to stop sharing this one.
Yes, yes, we can.
Can you see my screen?
Yes,
yeah, we can see the screen.
Yeah, so this is how the data is going to look like. So now you have here 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 0. So that's the methodology, but of course, this 1 0 means a lot. It means a lot. You have to start doing what we call coding. In qualitative data, we talk about coding. So you have to code the question. So these questions have been coded in this format, but it's a deep insight to tell you what the 1 means, what the 0 means. Of course, I explained about it. So of course, in the system, a 1 means it's a high potential risk depending on the question, which means that it could be a situation where there's no water. Is there a water point? Yes. Is there a water point? No. So for example, is there no water point in community, or in this point, you say no. Is the water point non-functional? You said yes. It means, okay, yes. So you have to check and code these questions, which means that all of these questions, you must know the questions as an analyst. Each of the questions which are coming, you see the variance of the questions and the different analysis type you have here and the project name. So this is what happens. It comes in like that. I'm going to do it probably 1 minute. Open up. I think I have to enable this thing probably. But of course, this row is about a project, and then you have here the number of analysis you have done. This is called responses, and then the field analysis type. Of course, you must know we have the code for the different analysis. Now we have the various questions, and then we have this value 300, 400, 4,000, a lot of values here. But all of these things are part, when you see any value that is above 1 and 0, these values are quantitative data in your data set. So for you to understand. So I'm just going to teach you a little bit about that. So, but as an organization, you first know when you start using it, you know how to make use of it and to do further statistical analysis and also qualitative analysis of that community using the 1 and 0 coding scheme. If we don't know, we're going to put some video in the training. Of course, we are also EKCOLAB Analytics will be able to help organizations to walk through and students and governments. I think government organization as well. So that's that. Probably will now be ready to take questions and answers from people who are still there. I think maybe okay, so I think Mr. Michael, Tochukwu Michael, if you're there, you could probably we have some set of questions. Do we have them?
Yes, there are questions in the chat box. Mr. Tochukwu Michael, if you are available, please kindly provide the questions so we can answer them.
Mr. Tochukwu Michael there, I think. So if he's not there, someone should kindly go to the chat box and pick up question. Or we could now, okay, give a chance for questions. Other questions will be copied from the chat and then answered appropriately. And please, if you want a slide, if you want this presentation of today, you could send your email address. We're going to send this presentation to you to further understand, and then you keep in touch, of course, with all the contacts. I'm going to put up the contact list now. I'm going to share that now to us, 1 minute, and then we could have questions coming. Guys with questions?
Okay, firstly, Mr. Ekole.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would like to present the questions we already have in the chat.
Okay.
In the sequential order. So, okay, so the first question from Modi says, kindly requesting for the slides after the presentation. Yes, of course, this will be shared.
Send your email address, please.
If you need the slide, kindly type your email address in the chat.
Okay, so if you want to start with us, where to start, you can create your account as a student, create a student profile, create an organization profile. Let's solve the community problems together in a fast way. And now these are our contacts, so you can contact any of these. Most properly, I think, use the email addresses there. You could take a snapshot of that and send emails to us. And the website link is there. You could have a look, probably to register. You could try to do 1 or 2 things as well. So,
sorry to interrupt. I think there is an icon blocking your screen.
An icon blocking my screen?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Now it works.
1 minute.
Okay.
Can you see the contacts?
Yes. Yeah. Better now.
You can take the contacts here to contact us. Take a screenshot For those needing the slides, please send your email addresses. We will be able to send you the slides probably. What are the other questions?
Okay, so the next question we have is from Neoyita. She says, what are the requirements for someone who wants to join the EKCOLAB Analytics program?
You don't have specific requirements. You just have to have access to the application. There's a website link there. You can communicate to our team as well through these email addresses. And then you can be able to get started. We'll put a phone call to you on WhatsApp. So these numbers, basically, it's very more appropriate to contact because they are fast in replying, because the time zones are not very different. They're in African numbers. You could be able to get fast reply in the African team of the EKCOLAB Analytics. Just to make a reminder, the EKCOLAB Analytics is a program and a project under the EKCOLAB USA team projects. So we're managing that together with the African team and seeing how to solve problems. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So we have another one from Mitchell Mahachi. He says, he wants to know how the EKCOLAB Analytics tool relates to National Statistics Office survey.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this is
from which country? Because it depends on the different national statistics survey countries and what they are doing, what they are collecting. Some could just be collecting just data census of people, how many people live here, and that's for the government purpose, but not basically on some specific field. Because our work here is collecting specific data related to WASH, related to waste management, related to social infrastructures, related about quantitative data, talking about locations of hospitals, water discrimination places, related to water scarcity, and as well as hygiene and sanitation. So it's basically what we're doing here. And the other components could be pollution, air pollution, land pollution, which is still almost the same thing under the umbrella of what we're trying to bring forth. Yeah. So we can also have data related to the number of people, which could also be incorporated to fully understand the, we call it to have a joint data set to merge it. Yeah, we could merge the data set to do deeper interpretation or deep interpretations for the results. Yeah, it could be.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ekole. To add to that, so like he said, the statistics you are looking for depends on what kind of statistics. So if it's in alignment with the EKCOLAB areas, which Mr. Ekole has mentioned, then we can assist in that area because we have a real-time statistical analysis software that can help you do it. So it all depends. If it aligns in our core areas, yes, we can assist. I don't know if this answers the question that you have, Mr. Mitchell Mahachi. So going to the next person from Liberia, Wafi Philip says, how can one join EKCOLAB organization?
It's pretty much you have to contact, first of all, well, these emails are for EKCOLAB Analytics. So try to use this email and to talk to us. But pretty much you have a set of procedure, which means that you have to tell us what you do and some other things before you can join the system as well. Yeah, so that you can use this email. If you are still in the chat, contact us, telling about your interest, and then we could see your CV and some other stuff. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Another person, Nawa Mufizi, says, I don't know the gender, but she says, or he said, the objective of EKCOLAB Analytics, of course, very much aligns with his or her area of study, which is pharmacy, and asks that what are the maybe strategic campaigns to raise awareness or any promotion to be adapted that he believes will be very appropriate or that will help as well in promoting the EKCOLAB Analytics?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So I'm going to go to the ambassadorship. Sorry that I didn't talk about it much. So to become an ambassador, so it's a key point here. And of course, some people left already, but an ambassador's position is up right now. It's one of the main things right now, which is a position we are giving out in EKCOLAB Analytics. EKCOLAB, we are putting up ambassador position now in all countries. So if you are seeing the call, it's a good point for you. So you can be able to be an ambassador in EKCOLAB Analytics as it's very easy right now because we just launched. So if you're in different countries, you could sign up that you want to be an ambassador. You could contact us using the emails, which I already said about, or you could send us your email. We will contact you, but it's much that you should send us an email instead. I'm going to put this thing again. So please take a screenshot, send us an email if you want to be an ambassador of EKCOLAB Analytics in your country, and we are accepting just one ambassador per country. There are financial benefits, of course, related to this position and how you can make money while you're promoting this campaign in your country. Yeah, it's a very great opportunity for students as for other professionals. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Ikole, for that. So we have from Modi says, I'm a fresh graduate from BSc Water Resource Engineering. I would like to do my graduate training with EKCOLAB.
Yeah, we are open. It depends the country. Sometimes you could travel to different countries where you have EKCOLAB office. If we see that your research is not, it can't be implemented properly in maybe your country of origin, we could tell you to travel, or we could find a way to see how you could travel to another country where we are operating. Maybe Zambia, maybe Uganda, maybe Cameroon. Of course, we are also making ties to see how to have access to other international locations where you could also do, of course, because we are expanding. Yeah, it's very possible. Just take the contacts as I've displayed on the screen and contact us about this, and we'll make available this research.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. We have from Prodex as well. He says, excellent. Please, how can I contact EKCOLAB in Cameroon?
You can still use the same email addresses here. These are the email addresses. You can use them. All of us, we are connected. EKCOLAB Cameroon is the headquarters of EKCOLAB itself. EKCOLAB Analytics is a project under EKCOLAB USA. You guys should not forget. The US team, of course, they are part of the thing, and the members were in this meeting. They were also in the meeting, but for now, we try to hold up some projects with them to see how to foster. But I present because, of course, this project was part of my powers to present. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ikole. So we have from Lamine, this is a registration account. So from the Federal National Coordinator, Water, Sanitation and Hygiene in Gambia Ministry of Health. So it says great innovation it is. I'm wondering how we can apply this EKCOLAB Analytics in Gambia.
It's fully
in Zambia,
applicable.
I think Zambia or Gambia. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's Gambia. It's Gambia. I think the Gambians. Yeah, Gambia.
Okay.
So it's fully applicable in any country in Africa. Like I said before, we all know the global water problem, and that's why we have to make sure things are done and the innovation is working. We have to collaborative partner, and all those partnerships are very important as well. So bringing this thing in Gambia is also in a form of, if you can be an ambassador, it will be of great help to you, not only by promoting it, but you also be able to see how to make some financial income while you do it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Another person, Fatima, asked for the presentation. Of course, like we said, just put your email address in the chat and it will be taken. Or you can also email, but put in the chat box, importantly.
Yeah.
So from Modi, okay, I don't know if this is a question. Okay, I don't know. Where can I find your office in Uganda from Modi?
In Uganda, of course, contact our president. I don't know, is Mr. Ochago here? Yeah, you could contact our president. I think the number here is the vice president. Please contact this number. Yeah. So you have more details with that. Next question.
Okay, yes, the question is done. The question is done. I think maybe we have the floor open for anyone who wants to ask question then. But the one in the chat is done.
Okay. Cool.
So the floor is open for questions.
For those of you who don't know our YouTube channel, you can do that by just clicking EKCOLAB. Whatever type you have, maybe you can write all small letters. And thanks for your attention. Once again, let's make impact together. We are all youths. We should do it properly in Africa. We should make it happen. So on LinkedIn, you can find us on EKCOLAB Analytics or EKCOLAB, the main page, also the EKCOLAB Analytics, the main company page as well, EKCOLAB Analytics. You could find that out on LinkedIn as well. On Facebook, type EKCOLAB. You're going to see find us there. So any other further question? If there's no question, then it's a big congratulations to everyone that has made it to the end. And I don't know if anyone has anything from the team, the EKCOLAB team. You have something to say or some other point you could say. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. I'm going to stop sharing, and that's it. We need some questions here. Pakistan, thank you for the questions. We have a question here. Mr. Prosper want to say something. Can we make partnership in Pakistan? Of course, we have a question there. Mr. Tochiko, check the chat. We should.
Yes, okay, we have, can we make partnership for solving water issues in Pakistan?
Who is the sender?
Gulam Fatima.
Yeah, it's very possible to work. We have Mr. Amir Hassan. He's part of the EKCOLAB, and he's the research director in EKCOLAB. He's from Pakistan. So, of course, we already have Pakistan in the team as well, and we are very happy, and we can work together to solve the problem in Pakistan as well. Yeah. So please, if you want us to communicate, try to do the screenshot like I explained, or snap the contact us, or send your email in the chat, and then requesting for partnership. So you could send your email now, and the chat will be copied. Mr. Tochiko, please copy the chat. Just try to copy everything. I don't know how you could do it, but you can copy and put in a Word document. So we can follow up that later. Mr. Prosper, your hand is up. Yeah.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah, good evening.
Yeah, this is good. This is what Africa needs, and EKCOLAB is bringing this to Africa. In fact, EKCOLAB has brought this to Africa. Not a question, it's just an encouragement. But before that, while the sharing was going on, I noticed something for the educational level for students. I want to ask if there is another option there that the applicant can type, because I saw BSc, PhD, and masters, but there might be a situation where we can have secondary school students, this research, they can engage themselves into this. So I don't know if there's an option there that we can type and insert some information, even qualifications that are not related to that. That was just an observation. And what I want to say is that this is an interesting innovation that Africa is experiencing, and this did not come as a result of sitting and
feel like your connection is disturbing.
Talk in EKCOLAB. Members have rolled their sleeves and they have gotten into the arena of actions and results are coming out. It's not easy. And why doing this? Don't when you join a program like this, a movement like this, some benefits might come, but don't put that at the forefront, because what you should have in mind is that you are involved in a movement that even the planter of the tree, which might be you, might not enjoy the shade of the tree, but the generation to come will water it and enjoy the shade. That's just what you should bear in mind. Yeah. So this is
Yeah.
good. This is good.
Thank you very much.
Africa is going ahead. I'm happy that it is in Africa. It came from Africa, at least. Yeah, that's just the joy I have that it is in Africa. Yeah, so that's just what I want to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Apostle. I think Mr. Tochukwu, there's a question there, I think in the chat. Let's see. There we go.
Okay, so someone asked, Bertrand Abayi, is EKCOLAB open for partnership with organizations in Cameroon?
I think there was some other question before that one. I saw.
No, those were email addresses.
Okay. So just copy everything. Yeah, of course, we are open to with partnership in Cameroon. Like I already said, guys, we are going to help everyone. You guys are part of the general movement, every organization, every student, every man. We call it the citizen science movement, which means everyone's involved. We are here to make key decisions together, taking our own problems with our hands and fixing them, having our own data with our hands and making decisions to join effort for SDGs and to support the mission for 2030, which means that we should be actively involved in this partnership. And we welcome partnership from every country, both Africa and out of Africa, facing issues with certain parameters which we're trying to solve. Of course, certain factors in communities related to the problems that they are facing. So we are open to partnership. If you have anything, you could still send us email or messages to our LinkedIn accounts, or you could contact any EKCOLAB personnel. Any country, doesn't matter. We are very united and connected in EKCOLAB. So if you contact someone in Uganda or in Rwanda, because we have EKCOLAB in Rwanda, so you can get the person directing you to certain persons, which you can lead to where you have to go to, which means if you're supposed to be directed to Cameroon, you'll be directed. But the main EKCOLAB LinkedIn account is there. Send us email, send us a message there, inbox us we're going to reply to you, and we will contact you on how to solve this problem. And lastly, I want to say the opportunities for ambassadorship is up and running. We just launched. We're looking for massive people who are ready to not only be professionals or to upgrade their skills, but to make things happen and to take over their country situations and start to innovate while doing advocacy and also making finances. And I also want to conclude on the aspect related to the futures which are in future, which is the last point to say, which is that in the next versions, we plan to give automatic recommendations, which means that once you have your analysis like that, if you don't understand what is there, you'll be able to click on recommendation sections. I think you can see that where I was doing that, but I didn't check on that. And you have automatic recommendations of what is happening. It's going to tell you everything that's happening in your community. Secondly, we're going to do updates on the distribution of maps, whereby, of course, if you collect on all the data related to your community, you'll be able to find out that the locations are all available, and the amount of risks in this community will also be available in a map view. So those are some of the innovations, the updates for the next versions of the application. And again, we're also going to have the issues related to the AI generated help So we are going to integrate AI to be able to help you streamline, help you predict, help you do a lot of things, and also questions related to water, questions related to environment. You could ask the AI some questions, the AI will be able to give you automatic response in the platform. So those are the updates. Of course, the AI is going to come, I think, around September, but automatic updates of recommendations, documents to be downloaded for recommendations, notifications in the applications and map will be done for the next version, which means it's going to come out, I think, in June. So this is version 1, version 2 will be out. And also the design might be different. So be expecting a whole shift of innovation coming, a roller coaster. And of course, you'll be one of the platforms where if you're engaged right now into it, you'll be telling people about it, and they'll be like, if I knew, I would have joined before. So, but we give the opportunity for you guys as ambassadors who want to be, text us, contact us. We'll be turning up the call on our LinkedIn by next week for ambassadors in EKCOLAB in all African countries, as well as out of Africa. So if you see that post on LinkedIn, please follow up and sign up. Very important. Yeah. And if you want to be there, you could contact us. We'll now have a meeting with you to tell you what are the benefits there, and you have to sign a contract with us and to see how to move ahead. Yeah. Thank you. I think that's that. 360 research.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Corey, for the presentation and for the insights that you've also shared with the whole community. So mine is just a question, depending on the platform that you've just presented. From the plans, I haven't seen any free plan. So in as much that this is the first version, I would love if you can include the free version, the free plan for to allow as many people to test the platform, so that maybe depending on their experience, they can provide some reviews to help in improving the next version. Maybe I would love if the premium plans, maybe they should be maybe in the second or the third version, because if you have to put the premium right on the first version, it means few are going to have access or are going to appreciate the platform. So maybe that way we want to have like the best insights towards the functionality of the platform. Yeah, for it's just a suggestion, but maybe you can also look into it. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Luke. Yeah, we will talk about, or maybe we'll think about that. Of course, maybe there are some key persons that could have it for free for some period of time. Specifically, we are thinking ambassadors for some time, but we will discuss that with the other team and the directors involved, and we'll discuss to know if we could give it for free for some specific ambassadors in some countries for some time, and then we could see how to do, but we are not yet certain. But of course, the system is working. We tested it. We have a round of testers, not only in Africa, out of Africa, we have testers. And of course, before releasing, we have testers. But no problem. We will think on that. It's a very good point. Thank you very much.
All right. Another question. In as much that maybe one can create a project, and then maybe he or she can do some sort of analysis. I'm just interested to see, like, water has got a lot of issues that needs to be attended to differently. So in terms of those individual kind of analysis, would you please also integrate this like aspect where a user can choose a specific analysis, maybe depending on the parameters of interest? Maybe if it is something to do with water quality, then you can talk like aspect to do with, let's say, the turbidity, the temperature, the BOD, something like that, so that at least whatever analysis should be attributed to the kind of the problem that particular user is trying to come up or maybe to address. I don't know, maybe I overlooked it in the presentation, but if it was not covered, maybe you can also look into that one.
Yeah, the thing is, we in the next versions will be able to separate quarter analysis, quarter dashboards, and some of those things which are related to specific factors. But as you see, the system works on general information related to the whole picture of community and telling you key factors. And if you separate some factors from the system, it doesn't make sense because you won't be telling yourself the truth, what's happening. Yeah, so you must be able to have a robust system whereby you could be able to have a saturated information. And that's the key point. Because having a single let, and for example, let me say, we haven't included here the water quality parameters testing. Like for example, testing for chlorine, testing for E. coli, testing for other physiochemical analysis, and all the analysis which you can do using some equipment on the field. Yeah, to test for water, like in the water section, like to do water analysis sections, because not all the analysis are water related. So now, if you have this type of information, of course, we can include it as part of the quantitative data, because those ones are always quantitative. They are not going to be qualitative. So if you're going to have a water test for one particular point, you come there, you do water analysis, and then you collect your water test results, that you do the test. And maybe test for lead, test for iron, test for E. coli, and then of course rapid test could be done with some rapid test kits. Once you have those values, you put it in the app, you get, and it will join to in the whole system as well, because everything is being combined to make a decision. So those are things we'll also include. It's not like it's not possible. It's possible to include those factors, where you could come and look at the chlorine level in the water systems in the whole in all of that community. You can look at the fluoride level in the water systems. That is part of the analysis which we're talking about. So those factors and those updates are going to come subsequently in the next version. We're going to have the water analysis section, where you can go and put only your information related to the test for chloride, test for fluoride, test for bacteria analysis. All those tests will be aligned, and you have to put your information there, what you have tested for each water point when you do
All right,
analysis.
maybe just also to add on, like on the AI integration, or I would love if you can make the integration as like to be advanced. Let's say if you are talking of environmental pollution, it should be able to detect what was the status of the pollution maybe 5 years down the line, and currently what's the level of pollution, and maybe it should also be able to predict in the next 5 years to come what gonna be the status maybe of the pollution, so that at least maybe when it comes to the recommendation a bit of it, we should be able to have like the kind of comprehensive insights.
Yeah, Mr. Luke, you didn't follow what I was talking about in integration of AI. All of this thing you're talking, it's part of the AI, and even more than what you're even thinking. Yeah, so it's a robust AI that will do a lot, not only about telling you stories of what is in your data or what could be in the data, but also as you can do it as a research AI, like ChatGPT and other AI that you can type and ask questions. But this AI will be strictly fine-tuned to the sector you're working in, which is the water and environment sector. So we're strengthening the AI to work and to be more advanced in solving complex problems related to this than other AI that could be used like ChatGPT.
All right. Or maybe my last question. So, like I also saw you during the presentation, like there was a field for us to put like the coordinates or the GPS kind of location. So I wanted to ask, let's say if you're in Cameroon and then maybe you've selected a zone. The moment you click on that field, is it going to populate automatically depending on where you are, or maybe?
Yes, that's what we're gonna do. automatic
Okay.
GPS location of all of all points which you are standing, where you're doing your analysis. It's going to collect it automatically. And you must have your phone with the geolocation
Enabled.
on.
Okay. All
So
right. I think
we are
that's
done for
enough.
questions. Please don't ask any more questions. We are done.
Yeah, actually, I'm done.
Okay, guys, I think thank you very much for your time. It's been good. Probably we've done a successful time together, and I wish you all an effective collaborations afterwards. And see your I'm waiting for your emails. I'm waiting for your connections and your messages related to working together for a common goal. Thank you. Mr. Tochukwu, you can close the meeting.
Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.